When Alexander had conquered the world, he summoned 3 wise men to advise him how to achieve longevity and immortality. "You must take the water of life," they said. "He who drinks from it must never fear death. But to get it, you had to pass between 2 mountains that beat unceasingly against each other. Even birds couldn't pass through, but even if you did manage to pass through, the water of life was guarded by a mighty, fearsome Dragos. He guarded it with an unblinking eye." Alexander gave the command for his most trusted companion to be brought to him, his horse, Bucephalos. Now, unlike Pegasus, he didn't have wings, but the horse could fly like a bird. Alexander mounted him, and off they flew, over sea and hills and fields and farms, till they reached the place where the 2 mountains beat unceasingly against each other. And Alexander dug his heels into Bucephalos, and together they shot through, not so much as a graze on the king's skin. And there was the water of life, and around it was coiled the enormous scaly body of the Dragos. The monster reared its head, nostrils flared, but it was already too late. Alexander's sword was rammed into his throat. He took the water of life and went back through the mountains. This time they clipped Bucephalos' tail, and they flew over farms and fields and hills and sea to Alexander's palace, where he kept the immortal water in a basin. Unfortunately, the king grew so certain of his immortality that he neglected the basin, and one day his sister came upon it. Seeing the water unclean, she poured it all away. When Alexander saw what she had done, he went mad with grief. He put a frenzied curse on his sister. "May she live forever in the middle of the sea, with a fisher's tail for a lower half, and may he never see her again." The gods heard his curse and granted it. And to this day, when you're crossing the Aegean, you might come across a creature, half woman, half fish, and she'll ask any passing ship, "Does Alexander live?" And if the master of the ship should answer no, she, in her infinite sadness, will stir up the sea with her pearl-white hands and foam-white hair, and stir and stir and sink the ship. Those who know better will say, "Yes, he lives and reigns." And then the young half-woman will be happy, and she'll sing as she swims to the horizon, and new airs guide the sailors safely home. Her name was Thessalonike. They don't always mention that.